What's up, guys? It is Sam here, and I wanted to talk about Xfinity and why I canceled my internet. But before I get into that, I want to give a little bit of context to the rationale behind making that decision. Because I think that giving it context really allows you to see what's going on up here, assuming that you actually give a fuck, right? But I like to think of things, generally speaking, as a opportunity cost, whether that's with actual explicit cost, meaning dollars, or whatever currency you're using, or the same thing with time. If you go do X, then you cannot do Y, right? So, and not everything is mutually exclusive, but a lot of things are, meaning like mutually exclusive, like you could go down, like, to the fucking park, but you could also listen to music, right? Because those are not mutually exclusive, meaning you can't do one or the other. Whereas, like, if you go down to the park, then you cannot go to the mall at exactly the same time because they are different things. So, that is how I think about things. If I go do this, then that means I'm not doing this. And if my objective is to go here, right? So, I've been told I have more of a A-type personality, whatever the fuck that means. And by these people's definition of what that means is a very like driven or ambitious. I don't fucking know. It's just what I want, right? Just having a clear understanding of where I want to go. And anytime I'm taking things away from this, right, where I'm trying to go, like I'm like, oh, I'm going over here, I'm giving up that opportunity cost. And with Xfinity, right, the internet, Comcast, whatever the fuck company you want to call it, it's, by the way, it's the same company. Xfinity, from my experience, like, I'm not trying to talk shit about them, they're not very good. It's just not good experience. Like, not. Like, anytime you get... I'm not going to give any examples. I'm just going to say, no, it's not good. I'm just going to say that at all. I'm not going to give any examples. No, really, like, I think this is probably the fourth time I've had Comcast over the years, and they say they'll give you this in terms of internet speed, and they're always like 25 to 50% less than that for the internet speed. And it never comes anywhere close. The customer service, like, if you think going into a used car dealership to purchase a car and like that annoying salesperson, think of like that combined with going to the dentist, because you know the experience is so fucking shitty. So you have the used car salesperson and you have going to the dentist. The number one dreaded thing that people do here in America is go to the dentist. And you combine those two, that's kind of like dealing with the customer service at Comcast. Almost, if you multiply it times two. And then you'll probably have close to that type of experience. So I'm spending $43 a month for internet that is supposed to be around 100 megs per second. And I'm not like, these are first world problems. I'm going to get to my rationale, and that's the whole point of this. Not that like, I'm supposed to have 100 and I have 97. That's not the issue here. But it is one of the factors that goes into it, right? So I've had internet for about 45 days. When YouTube and Amazon earnings, by the way, if you want to learn more about that, go watch some other videos on the channel or subscribe and press that bell notification and you'll learn, I do talk about my earnings. So the YouTube and Amazon earnings were large enough to start covering internet costs. I was like, I'm going to get internet. It should be a little faster than my phone's when I get up to using 100 to 200 gigs worth of data per month per device, right? I have two. And that can be a video for another time. If you want to hear about the two phones, let me know down below in the comments. So once that happened, I got internet 45 days ago. And the router is in the room back there, and it's hooked directly to my desktop computer through an Ethernet cable. And got it up, running, cool. Everything was cool and copacetic. And then about a week later, I go to get on the computer after not using it for a couple days, a week after installation, and it's not working. So I just jump on my laptop or my phone instead, because I didn't feel like fucking dealing with it. And then I waited about another week, and I was going to be using that specific computer again, and got back on, and the internet is not working again. So I was like, fuck this shit. I'm not dealing with this right now. And then I think probably waited about 2 weeks, and that left me at this past week. And I go to get, it was about 10 days or so, and that was about maybe about a week before I just canceled. And I had to call to get the internet turned on. Then about a day later, I had to call, go through the technical shooting, the troubleshooting, right? And internet working, cool, right? And then 4 or 5 days later, a week later, then the next day, I think it was, within 24 hours, I'm using the computer and the internet's not working. And they're like, oh, it's an outage, right? This time it has nothing to do with whatever the fuck happened the first time. It's an outage. So I'm like, oh, okay, all right. Well, I'll just use my phone because who knows when the fuck this is supposed to get turned back on. And then a couple days later, which was this past weekend, I get on my computer again, clearly the outage has gone away, and the internet's not working again. Holy fuck! That's what I'm paying $45 a month for. $43 and change. To just have fucking internet in my house, not to call customer service. I'm not paying so I have the opportunity to call customer service and waste my fucking afternoon with them. It doesn't make any sense. So that's the foundation of what I'm dealing with, layered on top of looking at everything as an opportunity cost. So that is my time and my money, right? We have explicit and we have implicit from the time. So there's those costs, and I'm like, that $45 I can take and either put it into savings, which would be more valuable, because the frustration of having to call, the frustration of literally going in there to use a computer to do some work and then not having it work, that frustration is not what I want to deal with. And that is negative ROI from the way I view the world. So then having to get on the phone with somebody to try to get my internet to work is even more negative ROI, right? If you were going to spend $100 and you only got back 90, you're like, that's probably not a good idea, right? That's what I mean by negative ROI. And if you were going to spend $100 and only back 80, that's probably worse, right? And that's what going to the other room is like, and having the computer not work every single time I go to use it from an internet standpoint. And then having to call on top of it is like jumping from my $100 from 90, now it's down to 80. Because I don't want to do either one of those fucking things. So I can take that money and just leave it in savings and allow it to accumulate, which would be positive and not be negative, meaning I got $100 and I got $100, right? That would be my investment. But I get rid of that headache of going in the other room and not having the internet work. And the headache of calling on the phone. And to those two things by itself would be a positive investment, because I go from negative investing $100, in this case 43, and then actually only getting, say, $30 worth of value out of it. So the reason is not there, right? No logical person is going to be like, hey, give me $45, I'll give you 30 back next week, right? Cool, sounds like a good deal. That's just not how the world works in general. Yes, there are plenty of cases, but in that, on the aggregate, people tend to not make really illogical decisions for really long periods of time, on average, right? So, with all those caveats, what I can do is I can take that $43 and apply that to Instagram and Facebook ads, which has a two-part ROI. The first being that I learn more about Facebook ads and Instagram ads, what works, both in terms of the creative and the copy, and I'm able to create content specifically for that and the targeting and just the whole entire process of learning how to run effective ads. And the second part of the ROI is running the ad and getting the results for myself. So if I were to take the $45 and apply that to running Instagram or Facebook or YouTube or Google ads to drive more traffic to this channel that does have YouTube monetization on it, and I'm able to generate $1 more, then what I am doing is taking my $45 and lowering the actual cost, right? Because I get $1 back from it. And what tends to happen on YouTube is that if somebody watches your content, there's a higher probability that that individual will see your content in the future in their newsfeed at some point. So the more people that were able to grasp a little bit of it, even if they didn't see an ad, are more likely to see it in the future, as well as because there's traffic coming from a trusted source. That's how YouTube or Google would view it, right? Like if there's traffic coming from Facebook to YouTube, like Facebook's a trusted site. It's not like some scammy site that's sending traffic there. It's a trusted site. So the juice or the emphasis or the increase on the SEO, which is search engine optimization on YouTube, increases, meaning that my video not only will show up in somebody's feed more frequently because they've consumed some portion of my content, but it's going to show up in more people's suggested videos and on their timeline or feed, whatever you want to call it, when somebody's scrolling through, because of that extra traffic that is coming through. Hopefully all this is making sense. So to get down to it, the opportunity cost is negative, right? I'm taking $45 here and I'm losing money because I'm not getting the value exchange out of that $45 versus taking that $45 and applying it to something where I am able to grow, I am able to learn through the action of execution, but I am also able to yield the results of actually testing something to potentially work here on YouTube and increase the channel going forward. So, by the way, if you guys like this type of video, make sure you smash that like button. Let me know down below in the comments if you guys have any other questions. So yes, I have no more internet in my apartment. I'm just using my phones. If you guys want to hear about that, let me know. It is really not that bad. I have unlimited on both of the phones. So it's pretty simple. At some points it does slow down, but it's really not that bad. Anyways, if you guys have any questions, let me know down below or reach out to me on Instagram. Link is in the description. By the way, if you want to support the channel, share this video with somebody. Share this video with somebody you think might find value in what I was just talking about. Appreciate you guys. Peace.